Have you ever considered, really, what it truly takes to make a groundbreaking discovery? Or, forge a genuinely innovative path in your field? We often instinctively think, okay, aligning with the best, the established leaders, that's got to be the fastest route to success. But what if that path, the one that seems so advantageous, actually comes with a surprising kind of hidden cost, a cost to your true originality? Welcome to our deep dive into a fascinating study. It really challenges some common assumptions about how success and innovation work. Today, we're going to unpack recent findings that explore how closely aligning with these academic superstars can impact the novelty of research. Yeah, we're drawing insights from a really comprehensive study. It looked at, wow, over 500,000 scholarly articles from the American Physical Society. The authors were Kelty, Baton, Proma, Hoki, Bolin, and Goschel.
That's right. And their mission essentially was to see how collaborating with, or even just citing very frequently, the top 1% most influential researchers, these academic superstars, how that shapes actual innovation. So our mission for you today is to explore the surprising paradoxes that pop up when, talent meets influence, and what this might mean for fostering genuinely original work, whether that's in science or maybe even in your own projects.
Okay, so to really dig into this, let's get on the same page first. Who exactly are these academic superstars? How did the study define them?
Right. So essentially, we're talking about the top 1% most influential researchers in their specific fields. The study characterizes them as people who consistently publish research that's not just good, but groundbreaking, disruptive even. They're known for frequently bridging concepts that seemed totally separate before, really reshaping entire scientific disciplines. Yeah, think of the pioneers. They earn the big awards, get those influential academic positions, lots of acclaim. Their reputations as true innovators are pretty much solidified.
Okay, so these are the absolute trailblazers, the big names, which naturally leads to the central question the study tackled. Does their innovative spark, their prowess, genuinely trickle down? Does being close to that kind of greatness automatically foster independent innovation in others? Or is there maybe a trade-off, something we're not really seeing on the surface? Now, here's where the findings start to get really interesting, and honestly, a little counterintuitive, because at first glance, you'd think, yeah, teaming up with a superstar, that's a no-brainer for my career.
And, well, you wouldn't be wrong, at least initially. The study shows clear, significant benefits for researchers who align closely with these superstars. They tend to publish way more papers, their citation rates are much higher, and they definitely get more visibility in their fields. I mean, those are tangible, really desirable benefits, right? Things that can absolutely accelerate a researcher's career path.
That sounds fantastic for anyone, really, not just academics. More output, more recognition. Who wouldn't want that? But
Yeah.
then comes the twist, doesn't it? Despite all those obvious advantages, what's the critical drawback the study uncovered?
Well, yeah, here's the paradox. Despite those higher productivity metrics that increased visibility, there's a pretty critical drawback. Researchers who are closely aligned with superstars, they typically produce research that's, well, safer, less groundbreaking. Instead of really venturing out into uncharted territory, they often opt for more incremental advancements. It's like favoring predictability over truly radical innovation. Kind of like adding a nice predictable extension onto an existing house instead of designing a completely new kind of building.
Okay, so if I'm getting this right, the big takeaway here, and this could apply to any field, right? Building a startup, developing a product, even just brainstorming a marketing campaign. The path of working closely with the established giants might feel safe, it might feel rewarding in the short term, but it could subtly be limiting your own unique genius, putting your originality on the line almost. It's that classic comfort zone dilemma.
That's a good way to put it. It's a powerful paradox, especially with direct collaboration.
But the study didn't just stop at direct partnerships, did it? They pushed it further. What happens when we sort of zoom out, look beyond those immediate collaborations?
Yeah, and this next part is perhaps even more striking. The study analyzed what happens when you actually exclude those direct superstar collaborations from the data. What they found was, well, researchers who are still significantly influenced by top academics, maybe they cite them a lot, work in the same narrow field. Even without direct collaboration, they tend to underperform compared to their peers. Without those direct influential partnerships, it seems they produce fewer groundbreaking ideas on their own. They kind of keep revisiting familiar topics rather than exploring genuinely novel research questions.
Okay. So the influence itself, even without direct teamwork, can have this dampening effect on originality.
It appears so. And then, in sharp contrast, you look at researchers who don't regularly collaborate with superstars, but they publish at similar rates. These researchers tend to create more innovative and disruptive work independently. These scholars, they more frequently generate genuinely original contributions. It highlights this critical split in research quality when you're not overly reliant on those superstar associations. It really makes you question how much independent thought is crucial for fostering true novelty, doesn't it?
That absolutely makes me think about someone just starting out, an early career researcher. Collaborating closely with an academic superstar, it must seem like the absolute ideal springboard, like a fast track. Is that how it plays out?
Initially, yes.
Yes.
It absolutely can be, no doubt about it. These collaborations often lead to really rapid career advancement. You get higher citation counts much quicker. Your professional network expands. I mean, those are all very real, very attractive benefits for emerging scientists who are trying to make their mark. Understandably so.
I sense a but coming.
But the long-term outcomes, they paint a somewhat different picture. It seems researchers who really build their early careers primarily around these superstar collaborations, they often struggle later on. Struggle to sustain true innovation, to establish their own distinct independent research identities. Once they step away from the direct influence of these prominent figures, their innovative output often declines.
Wow. So the initial boost doesn't necessarily translate into long-term innovative capacity?
Exactly. And conversely, you see researchers who start their careers more independently. Maybe it's a slower burn initially, but they often develop stronger intrinsic capabilities for innovation. They tend to maintain higher levels of originality and creativity throughout their careers, sort of unburdened by the overshadowing presence of a superstar mentor.
That's a really significant finding, especially for anyone thinking about their own professional path, how to navigate those early stages. So, okay, stepping back even further, what does all this mean for the bigger picture? For academia as a whole, and maybe even for how we think about success and rewarding innovation in, well, any field?
Yeah, it definitely has broader implications. These findings really highlight a need to rethink how academia, and probably many other industries too, evaluates and rewards contributions. Right now, things like visibility, prestige, who you know, social connections, they heavily influence the reward systems.
Which makes sense on one level, those things are easy to measure, maybe.
They are. But while that approach might accelerate certain careers, it comes with this inherent risk of suppressing genuine creativity, stifling those truly groundbreaking, maybe riskier ideas. Such an environment can, perhaps inadvertently, end up prioritizing safe, predictable studies. It might subtly discourage the truly original, potentially transformative research, the bold, unconventional efforts. They might struggle to get attention, struggle for funding, if visibility and who you're aligned with overshadow the actual merit and daring originality of the idea itself.
So it's not just about individual choices, but the system itself might be playing a role.
Precisely.
To build a more balanced and ultimately more innovative scientific community, or really any innovative community, we probably need to reconsider these valuation systems. This means creating stronger incentives for daring, independent research, actively supporting investigations that challenge the established norms, encouraging fresh, original ideas that go beyond conventional paradigms. That should probably become a much more central priority.
So ultimately, what this deep dive seems to be showing us is that advancing knowledge or pushing any field forward, it really requires a kind of balanced approach. It's about blending the undeniable advantages you get from learning from and being influenced by the leaders, the superstars, but also mixing that with deliberate, proactive support for the independent thinkers, those willing to boldly innovate and really chart their own course. Exactly. And this leaves us with a really important question for you, the listener, to think about. In your own pursuit, whether it's knowledge or professional advancement, are you primarily seeking that well-lit path, the one paved by established success? Or are you willing, maybe even eager, to venture into some uncharted territory, to cultivate contributions that are truly original, uniquely yours? And maybe think about what a truly innovative environment looks like, considering both the choices individuals make and the systemic support, or lack thereof, around them.
That's definitely something to mull over as you continue your own deep dives into the world. Thank you so much for joining us for this really insightful exploration today.